Imagine a world where your imagination becomes a physical prison, and inside that prison, you make all the rules. One of these domains is so fundamentally broken, it doesn't even need a barrier to wipe an entire city block off the map. Stick around, because the #1 spot isn't just a curse technique, it's a divine massacre. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're breaking down the absolute peak of Jujutsu sorcery, domain expansions. We've scoured the manga, the anime, and the wildest community debates to rank the top 10 most lethal and unfair domains in the entire series. For a quick refresher, a domain expansion is a sorcerer's ultimate trump card. It's a specialized barrier imbued with a curse technique that creates a guaranteed hit effect on anyone trapped inside. Think of it as dragging your opponent into a customized boss room where you control the code. Let's start the list with a domain that proves incredible potential can compete with the heavy hitters. At number 10, Megumi Fushiguro, Chimera Shadow Garden. It floods the surrounding environment with thick, fluid shadows, allowing Megumi to summon multiple Shikigami at once and clone himself. Even though it's technically incomplete and lacks a guaranteed sure hit, it boosts his 10 Shadows technique to 120% capacity and creates overwhelming offense. It's a literal ocean of shadows where attacks come from everywhere. Megumi really did look at his domain and said, "Who needs a finished barrier when I have an army of frogs?"
Next up at number 9 is Hiromi Higuruma, Deadly Sentencing.
It establishes a strict, non-violent courtroom where the user and the target are judged by the giant Shikigami Judge Man. A guilty verdict can immediately confiscate the target's cursed technique, and the death penalty grants Higuruma a one-hit kill executioner's sword. It strips away your powers and turns the fight into a terrifying battle of pure legal guilt. The only thing scarier than a special-grade curse is a prosecuting attorney who actually knows the law. Moving on to number 8, Kinji Hakari, Idle Death Gamble. A pachinko-themed domain where Hakari traps you in a complex game of chance while throwing heavy physical hits. Hitting a jackpot gives Hakari infinite cursed energy and automatic reverse curse technique, making him completely unkillable for exactly 4 minutes and 11 seconds. He weaponizes his own gambling addiction to become a temporary invincible god. Hakari really turned pulling the slot into a top-tier combat strategy. At number 7, Mahito, Self-Embodiment of Perfection. The barrier interior is filled with giant shifting hands that connect Mahito's idol transfiguration directly to your soul. He doesn't need to physically touch you anymore. Just being inside the domain guarantees your soul is violently reshaped and destroyed. It's a suffocating trap where one wrong breath equals instant death. Keep watching, because at number 4, we have a domain that completely shatters the limit on how many techniques one person can actually hold. Now at number 6, Naoya Zainin, Time Cell Moon Palace. I might get hate for mentioning this so high above, but this domain is actually good. It targets the opponents at a microscopic cellular level, forcing their actual cells to follow the 24 frames per second rule. If you move out of sync by even a fraction, your individual cells freeze and violently explode from the inside out. It's high-speed physics twisted into absolute inescapable body horror. Now you became a vengeful spirit just to prove he was still the fastest hater alive. At number 5, Yorozu, Threefold Affliction. It utilizes liquid metal to form a massive true sphere that generates infinite, unavoidable pressure inside the barrier. Because the true sphere has absolutely no physical surface area, it casually erases whatever it touches with zero resistance. It is the pinnacle of construction techniques, bringing impossible theoretical physics to life. At number 4, Yuta Okotsu, Authentic Mutual Love. A desolate, cross-filled graveyard of katanas, where each blade holds a different curse technique Yuta has copied over his lifetime. Yuta can apply any copied ability as the domain's guaranteed hit, while freely picking up the other random swords for a highly unpredictable assault. It's an infinite, rotating armory of the series' strongest moves. We're entering the top 3 now. The sheer power gap between these final domains and the rest of the list is genuinely terrifying. At number 3, Kenjaku, Womb Profusion. An open barrier domain that manifests as a towering, grotesque pillar composed entirely of distorted faces and cursed spirits. Because it doesn't use a closed shell, it boasts a massive range. It flawlessly delivers Kenjaku's devastating anti-gravity system to flatten everything in its radius straight into the dirt. Its exact placement here is heavily debated in the fandom, but its open barrier nature gives it a severe, undeniable edge in domain clashes. It is an absolute masterclass in barrier manipulation from a sorcerer who has lived and learned for 1,000 years. Kenjaku really spent 10 centuries planning his ultimate move, and the result is the creepiest flesh tree ever drawn. At number 2, Satoru Gojo, Unlimited Void. It forces the target's brain to perceive and process an infinite stream of information simultaneously, instantly paralyzing them. Experiencing even 0.2 seconds inside this domain causes severe, long-lasting brain damage. It is a guaranteed instant win against 99% of the verse, shutting down their mind completely. You don't die from a physical attack. You die because you are forced to understand the entire universe all at once.
Now, finally, at number 1, Ryomen Sukuna, Malevolent Shrine. This is it. The King of Curses holds the undisputed crown for a reason. Malevolent Shrine is an open barrier domain. Instead of trapping you inside a separate pocket dimension, it paints its curse technique directly onto reality itself, like an artist painting on thin air. By intentionally leaving an escape route open, Sukuna forms a binding vow that vastly expands the domain's radius up to a staggering 200 meters. Inside that massive circle of death, the shrine unleashes a relentless, inescapable storm of cleave and dismantle. It automatically adjusts to target anything with cursed energy and shreds anything without it into literal dust. It doesn't just overpower other domains, it ruthlessly attacks their barriers from the outside, destroying them completely. It's not just a technique, it is a natural disaster disguised as sorcery.
From lethal courtrooms to absolute sensory overload, JJK's domains are easily the best ultimate moves in modern anime. But Sukuna's open barrier destruction simply breaks the mold. Which ranking surprised you the most? Did we place Yuta too high or maybe Hakari too low? Jump into the comments below and drop your personal top 3. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching the entire video. If you liked the video, please drop a like and subscribe. It really helps.